Yo, what is going on? It's Youngling Jr. So, Elden Ring. I have to say, when I told you guys this before, right? When I played Lies P, it got me back into gaming. It got me back into loving the Souls like type of genre. And I'm like, okay, you got people like Kai Cenat, different popular streamers playing this game, like live streaming Elden Ring. And I'm like, let me give it a try because in the back of my mind, I always loved gaming. I grew up playing video games. I want to say back in like maybe 2014, 2015, I kind of like did step back a little bit and focus on other things in my early 20s, focus on securing a job and doing those things in that nature. But gaming has always been like a forever great hobby of mine, right? But I always wanted something that will have longevity, something that you can continuously play over and over again. And people say, hey, check out some From Software titles. And I decided to play after I defeated Liza P and went through the King of Puppets, went through everything and got the basics of it, man. Neo Wiz did an excellent job. I dove into Elden Ring. Elden Ring is such a good game, open world, really great, man. The people who develop Dark Souls, I get there playing it, kind of from Limgrave. You can pick Vagabond. You could be a samurai. It's just so much you can do. You can do item crafting. It's so amazing, man. And I really loved it. Strengthen my ornaments with my weapons. I get there, I'm fighting Tree Sentinel. I kind of skipped it for a little bit so I can explore, but I went to the caves and started grabbing little different items and started getting better. Parrying, learning how to do that, but also too dodging, and learning to level up my vigor, my stamina, which is important to all this is faith, arcane. I understand that later in the game, but for me, as I'm dipping my toes into this, I was like, let me go and go with a strength build. And the strength build is like, okay, let me get one of the most powerful weapons. I was focusing mainly on vigor and strength, man. And I didn't understand like mine was important too, because you can do special attacks as well from different weapons. And it's still then when I got to like Margit, right? Margit was like one of the first bosses, main bosses of the game. And they introduced me into like, the different mechanics of it, learning how to do things. And you have the ability to summon that can help you and assist you in your path. And that's pretty much what I did on majority of the bosses as well. I like how they implemented the online gameplay as well in Elden Ring. The online, you can go ahead and just, you can look at the multiplayer. I mean, you can go ahead and summon to other people's world. You can be invaded. And when you defeat invaders, you can go ahead and receive a lot of runes, man. And runes, it can help you develop and level your player and your character. Also too, you can buy things throughout the whole game. You can go on quests. There's so many side quests you can do. One of my favorite bosses of the game, this was later in the game, we had to go to Volcano Manor and you had to defeat Rykard. Defeated Rykard. He was this big serpent, and I kid you not, I used the blasphemous blade, and the blasphemous blade, oh, it carried me so much, man, throughout the whole game. And when I was getting these smithing stones, smithing stones, these type of things that if you want to be successful in this game, it forces you to actually enjoy and explore the game, man. And I had to say, you can play this game as great as you want. I mean, even when I get to the Red Wolf or Ragadan, you get to the Queen Full Moon. She introduced you to the sorcery, and if you want to do it to the intelligence type build, that's really good as well, man. It was just so many treasures, and I was just pretty much overwhelmed by this. But at the same time, man, it gave me so much satisfaction. Like, this is what a game is. This is what a video game is supposed to be, man. You kind of get empowered a little bit. And I kind of understand, like, people don't understand, like, the challenges, but you fight so many dragons, and you just can get items, and you get rewarded for that. And I was talking to a buddy of mine. I was looking like, this is definitely have to be a big dopamine hit when you spend 2 or 3 hours or countless how many hours you're playing, going against a boss, and you finally beat the boss. You get so very happy because you feel like you accomplished something, man. And you feel like you have a sense of identity, and you was like, you know what, let me go ahead and push a little more and a more and more. And what is the beautiful thing this too is that it's so detailed that you can pass time. You can go ahead and summon other people to help you along your quest. And I like how In the beginning it's great, but as you progress, the AI would generate it as, okay, well, you have two or more people here, so we're gonna make it a little bit difficult, as opposed to you just fighting the boss by yourself. I like how they put that aspect into it, man. It's still then when I had to go against the fire giant, that's when I started asking for help, because he had different phases, man, and he was a tough boss, but I found a way to beat him. Also too, man, Elden Beast, receive his weapons, man. You get the remembrance. This was good. You had to get the medallion, and when I had to get the medallion to get the key from the dragon, then you had to go ahead and, you know, lift the dragon key to get to the platis and whatever. You get to Lindale. I mean, that's a tough area, man, and it humbles you in a way, like, let me go ahead and get my skills up. Let me let me sit back a little bit, because those enemies were tough. Plaxidicus, that was a fun boss, man. I beat him my first try, and I think because I was like over level. Maybe I was like level 270. I had people dropping me some great runes. I'm talking about some astronomical number, like 3 million, 30 million runes, man. I was leveling up my mind, vigor, and endurance. I would say this for a beginner tip, and I'm not an expert at Souls gang. Like I said, I got a little taste of it in Liza P. But for here, man, I'll say just focus on vigor, focus on your health and your endurance. If you want to go to the level route, or you can be hardcore and just say, you know what, I'm not leveling up at all. I'm just gonna go ahead and play the game how it is, and you can do it as well. When I get to Radon was difficult. Yeah, he was pretty tough. I utilized all them summons around that area, around that arena. Those of you who play Elden Ring know what I'm talking about. I utilized like every single summon there, and I was like, you know what? I need y'all to help me. Like, it was, and then I kept responding to it, and I was just riding around my horse. But I mean, I still was engaging in combat. It was like, hey, I didn't care. Hey, that's a cheese or whatever. You need to get good. It doesn't count. Like, whatever. I beat it. But when I got to Mog was a hard boss for me. I definitely needed some help. The thing is, that's when I had to educate myself on getting Crimson Tears. You got to get the blood tier, because when you get to his second phase, he sacrificed himself and do these blood losses, and then the whole arena goes red, and then you just and like he takes a big chunk of your health, and therefore you had to use like 3 flasks if you don't have that. And then he just flies everywhere trying to hit it's a mess, man. but um but at the end of the day, man, we found a way. We found a way to beat him, and it was just a beautiful time, man. I had to say, the highlights of this game, man, it was really cool, just meeting the people, different people in the Elden Ring community. I'm definitely going to play the DLC. Defeating Redagon and Elden Beast was good. And I have to say this too, and a good pinpoint is that, you start to understand more of their patterns. Like when I had to fight Godfrey was pretty cool. The ghost part was good, it was an introduction, but when he came to the his second phase, the looks phase, and he like try to body slam you and suplex you, I'm like, oh my goodness, like this man is not messing around. That was fun. That's when I was taking my stamina into the fact. And then you gotta understand too, like some weapons are good for others. Like you might need to use a light build, sometimes you might use a heavy build. It depends. You gotta understand, if you have so much armor and heavy armor, you're gonna move a lot slower. I like how you can strengthen ornaments. You can use spells. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff you can do, and it's a variety of things. And this is why it's so perfected, because they won Video Game of the Year last year. I mean, it's because of these things, or a couple years ago. I mean, they did a really great job detailing every single thing, man. Kudos to From Software. I mean, because this really got me into strategy games, and just learning, and appreciating the art style of it. So I have to say that I have to give this game like a 9 out of 10, man. I mean, yeah, I had to look on YouTube, figure out where to go to get the key, keep going forward so I can progress forward into the, Forbidden Giants, or the mountaintops of the Giants, and go from there, and then get Milena and then defeated her. It's really cool, man. I just like how the community that you build, and then you kind of continuously to grow as a player, so because they reward you. But this was really good, getting smithing stones, summer stones. I mean, getting bells to get these things. I mean, you interacting with NPCs to help you along your journey. It seemed like this is beautiful. You will never get bored. You know, I see people new game plus in this and playing this over and over and over again. Instant classic here, man. But I just want to just talk about this, my journey of it. You know, I'm not gonna draw it too long. Really love you guys, man. I say if you guys hesitant about it, it's okay. If you're not into challenging games, but I say at least give it a try. I think it was worth the $60, man. So till I get to the DLC, it's gonna be extremely difficult, but I'm gonna get through it, man. At least you can keep all your stats and with you and everything. It's not like you starting all the way over, you know. But you guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. It's your boy Elden Jr. in here. I'm out. Deuces.